Living Out Loud. And our theme for the month what month is it? January is Root and Reboot. The title of our talk today is The Internal Song. And Charlene just gave me this little teaser, and I cannot wait to hear the message today. Charlene is our spiritual director, and guys, she always does the most wonderful job. It's going to be fabulous. We are so happy that you joined us here today. And just take that little to-do list, the things that you have planned today, and just set them aside. They'll wait for you. They'll be there whenever you're ready to pick them up. Just enjoy being here in the now with your friends at CSL. If you have any prayer concerns or celebrations, we invite you to put them in the comment section, and we will include them later in our service when Charlene takes us through our spiritual mind treatment, which is a form of affirmative prayer. For now, we're going to watch a video and kick off our service. Just sit back, relax, and welcome. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be a service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is. All right, and now it's time for our meditation. So we are in the 3rd week of January, and on our first Sunday of January, it was January 1st, and we had our burning bowl ceremony. So we didn't do our standard meditation. And then last Sunday, if you joined us, I had laryngitis. I couldn't say anything, so I was very quiet. So today I'm going to take you through a meditation that I had planned for the start of the year, but I'm going to modify it just a little bit with the recognition that we're 3 weeks into the new year. So what I chose to do is I was so moved by the themes that we had last year in 2022 when we were living everyday wonder. And I just want to guide you through the focuses that we had for the year 2022. But this time we're just going to look forward and go into the new year with intention. And I'm going to direct you through this meditation to think about some key aspects of your life where you might like to set some intentions. So join me in this meditation for the new year. Let's begin with just relaxing wherever you are. Just sink into your chair. Relax your body, any tension that you might carry as you rushed about your day to join us. Just sit and let everything go. Taking a deep breath and exhale. What a beautiful way to begin. So in January of last year, our focus was living everyday wonder. And for this meditation, I want you just to take a moment and think about this upcoming year and how can you live every day in a state of wonder? Maybe on your commute, can you take a moment and look around you and find something beautiful? Can you think of something that you just take delight in each day? Living everyday wonder with an intention that you can set for yourself this new year. In February, we explored our inner life, getting to know yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are those areas that you'd like to get just a little bit better? Not with judgment, but you're just always striving to improve, trying to be the best self that you can be. So think for this new year, what's an aspect of your inner life that you can focus on and set an intention? In March, we explored play. And I think this is one of my favorite ones for many reasons. So, what's your intention for this year? What's something fun that you can plan and look forward to? What's something that you can do on a regular basis that you consider play? What's a new hobby, a new activity that you can take up? Something that maybe you've never done before and you'd like to try? How can you bring play into the year 2023? In April, we explored creativity. And the title of our talk on the first week was Say Yes to the Yes. How can you be creative? What's something that you can design, explore, sink your hands into, and just let your mind wander? Where's an aspect in your life that this year you can try to push yourself to be a bit more creative? In May, we focused on our emotions. And I love what Charlene told us about how our emotions are like your spice rack. And sometimes you go to your spice rack and you pick out pepper, and sometimes you pick out paprika, and sometimes cumin, and all those other different wonderful spices. And our emotions are just like that. Sometimes we pull out something, we use it, and then we put it back. How are your emotions? What's an intention that you would like to set for this new year regarding your emotions? Do you need to show them more? Do you need to speak your mind? Do you need to rein them in a bit? Set an intention for your emotions here. In June, our focus was the body, our bodies. Do you love your body? Do you appreciate your body? Do you express gratitude to your amazing body each day? Set an intention. What gift would you like to give to your body in this new year? In July, the focus was relationships. We started in week 1 saying that the most important relationship that you can ever have is your relationship with yourself. But you don't live alone on an island, do you? So we interact with others. And as we went through the month of July, we talked about how we are made of the same stuff as the stars. Take a moment, think about your relationships and your intention for 2023. Is there one relationship that maybe isn't working for you and you need to set aside? Is there a relationship that you would like to bring into your life? Someone, something that would be special? Is there a relationship you need to heal? Take a moment and think about your intention for relationships in the year 2023. In August, we talked about nature. We are part of nature, and we just celebrated all the beauty that we have in our planet. From water to the week 3, we talked about the furry, the fuzzy, the slimy, and the scaly, all the wonderful creatures, all the beautiful plants that share our world. And we took time just to appreciate where we live, our beautiful planet. What's your intention? What gift would you like to give the planet in this new year? In September, the focus was work. Work. What is your purpose? What are your gifts, your talents, your skills that you can share with others in the form of work? How are you living your dream? How are you moving forward, creating a life that really matters, not just to yourself, but to others? Take a moment, think about your work, your purpose in 2023. In October, we explored finances. We talked about how we swim in the infinite ocean. We live in abundance. How do you want to experience abundance in this new year? And in November, how perfect, as we were starting to think about the holidays coming up, our focus was home. What does home mean to you? What would you like to do to your home to make it more yours, to make it more comfortable, to make it more inviting? Think about your intention for your home for this new year. Is there a project you've been putting off? What would you like to have happen in your home this year? And we ended the year in December by putting our focus on community. Who are the people that are your tribe, that are your community? How do you want to spend your time with them this year? Think about your intention for community for this new year. So, this meditation is something that you might have been able to complete during this time, or maybe it's something that you'd like to take and explore later on your own. Maybe there was one aspect, one focus in particular that you're saying, yeah, that's the one. That's the one that I want to focus on this year. Some people pick a sentence to guide them through the year. Some people pick a word. If you haven't tried that, I invite you to do that. I do that each year, and it's kind of exciting to have a word for the year, something that guides me. Take a deep breath, relax in this moment. Thank you for joining me on this reflective and intention meditation. And now we'll listen to the music of soul. Is it soul pajamas? No, I don't think so. It's Leah. Wonderful. Enjoy, Leah.
By the still water, I go to meet my guide. Truth restores my soul, I never walk alone. Where I face shadow, my heart will know no fear. Nothing can compare to peace that fills my soul. Love is all I need. My heart is filled with love. My cup is running over, over and over. From the moment that I rise to the time I lay me down, may I set my heart on sharing love. In the cool meadow, God greets me with a song. And in every voice I know I hear my own. Rare, sweet silence, I keep you here in me. And with every step, I never walk alone. Love is all I need. My heart is filled with love. My cup is running over, over and over. From the moment that I rise to the time I lay me down, may I set my heart on sharing love. My heart is filled with love. My cup is running over, over and over. From the moment that I rise to the day I lay me down, I will set my heart on sharing love. I will set my heart on sharing love. I have set my heart on sharing love.
Whew. Leah, so good, so good. Thank you, Tamara, for that meditation. It's almost as if when Tamara took us through every month of the year last year, asking what will we do in 2023. I love how Leah said, well, I will set my heart on sharing love. And that will show up in my home. It'll show up in my spice rack. It'll show up in each of the ways. So it is January, it is 2023, and our whole January of every year of CSL, we always get back to basics, the root of our teaching. And so obviously the monthly theme is root and reboot. So root into what? And what are we rebooting? So we root into our foundation. And I love that the whole imagery, if you noticed on the slide previously, it's of a tree. And the tree itself has branches and the trunk coming out of the ground, but you can also see underneath the ground in that image. And underneath the ground are almost as many, looks like there are as many roots going below the ground as there are branches coming above. And the further down the roots go, the higher the tree can grow. And I don't think that's by accident. I think that as individuals, we are meant to sit still and go within and remember who we are and how we show up in the world privately in the invisible, because from there emerges all the fruits of our life. And haven't we tried to just jump out of bed and start our day on superficial energy, maybe feedback from others that, a little ego feeding? And it's great to just go on that and run on fumes for a while. But if it's not based in the truth of who we really are, those people that were blowing into you all that good air, they're going to take that away at some point. Those people that have you up on the pedestal, what's next? After they put you up on the pedestal, what do they do next? Knock you right off. That's human. Humans do this. And so we have these ebbs and we have these flows. And when we're thrown about life just with ego, now I want to define ego just a little bit, because a lot of people think that ego should be killed. Ego is the devil, right? Ego is the thing that's the opposite of God. I don't know. I mean, we kind of need our personality. We kind of need our awareness, our sense of self. It's just that when we're babies, we hear certain things. We're told certain things as if they're the truth. We're told things like, you guys, if you feel like it, have some fun. Type into the chat some very commonly repeated beliefs that are given to you as if they're true. For example, old people can't learn new things. You've heard that before, right? Or I think the actual adage is, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Or, just anything. And it doesn't have to be negative, but there are beliefs that go about our world. They start in our family and our family of origin. Maybe we had a certain religion. Maybe they had certain beliefs that were meant, they're meant to connect us with the divine. But sometimes they're used a little bit, not so great. Tamara, yes, girls can't understand math. Oh, what? Say what now? There are things we think we know, and these so-called truths, the canon, the understanding, the agreed upon social conscious, well, we call it group consciousness, right? We all believe a certain amount of things, and we take it at face value until we start questioning them. And so we may spend our childhood, our early adulthood, believing certain things to be true, and then having a cognitive dissonance when they become not true, when life proves out that that's not the case. Right? Yes, don't get too big for your britches. And if you're a girl, or if you're a girl who's black or brown, ooh, those britches are tighter and tighter, huh? You're not supposed to get too big for those britches. Yeah. And so we internalize these things and we run up against cognitive dissonance. And here's what I mean. There's a voice that's running us, and we'll be running on autopilot trying to agree with that voice. Now, many of you know my personal journey. I grew up in a wonderful family, great, yay, everything was wonderful, but I also thought that I wanted to be a supermodel. And so what are they? They're super thin. And I was kind of thin, but I wanted to be super thin. And so I thought supermodels are super thin. So it's bad to eat. Don't eat. And if you eat, you got to get rid of it. You can't eat and keep the food in your stomach, because then you'll be fat. Then you won't be a supermodel. So you got to do things to get rid of the food. I was in this churning, just taking society's message. To be valuable, you must be beautiful. And the most beautiful people, well, they're supermodels. So, of course, I'm going to go for and that's what I went for. Interesting. And I'm just on this treadmill, not questioning anything until I started stumbling. One cannot maintain that kind of ego-drivenness for long. It's not sustainable. It's not in alignment with the truth of who I am. And so I started getting these little cracks. These cracks started to happen. And then these things are called crises and cracks, similar. So I created some shell, this ego shell that's like not my true self. My true self wanted to come through, but was being held back. And then cracks started to happen. So I stopped. It's so funny. I was trying to go to auditions and go to fashion shoots. But the thing is, my bulimic disease kept me in that I was too busy eating and throwing up to go to the appointments. Darn it. So my life started cracking and cracking and cracking some more. And I thought, oh no. So what do I do about this? Fast forward, I found a group of 12-step people who also had that same problem, and they had the answer. They helped me get through it. I couldn't hear the solution from friends, from family, from concerned people. No, because they didn't understand my particular problem. I had to be in a room of people that understood, that figured it out, and that shared the answer. And it turns out the answer was in community. It was in sharing my true self, not the ego shellacked version, not my representative, which on the external, aren't I cute? No, it has nothing to do with cute. Who are you really? I was able to share who I really am. Through sharing who I really am, I'd see other people for who they were. Connection, community, love, true love for who you truly are. This is what I know that I needed. This is what everyone in that room needed. And as I went through Science of Mind, this whole CSL teaching, kind of at the same time, there's no mistake that as I started opening up and finding God in community, I also found a teaching, this teaching, that figured it out too. They were saying the same thing. There's one divine power. That power moves through and in and as all of us. And to the degree that we open ourselves, to the degree that we let go of the ego-driven ideas, how we want to show up in the world and be admired by surface things, we can't really grow tall as trees unless our roots go down deep. And how do you get your root down deep? You shed the ego. So I had to listen to the internal song, this internal universal song that says, Charlene, you are perfect the way I created you. I know what I'm doing. Stop questioning me. You do not need to eat and throw up. Eat healthfully, knowing that you're good enough. And whatever body ends up is the body you're supposed to have. Oh, really? So you know what you're doing, Divine? Okay, tell me more, I said. The more I listened, the more I was able to peel away what wasn't me, what's not real. All the things that you've heard in life, girls can't be smart at math. I don't know, even models must be skinny. These days, you got all types of models, don't you? Life is not always cut and dried to the point where somebody else has it figured out and all you have to do is execute. No, we have the actual roots. We could dig in and our tap roots go all the way to the truth. And that's what feeds us, the truth, the divine, those 5 pillars we talked about earlier. And so, excuse me, Ernest Holmes, who is our founder, he actually had some great ideas about this. And this is why we organized this teaching around Ernest Holmes' ideas, but he didn't think of them. He studied Hinduism, he studied Buddhism, he studied all the different traditions. And then through his studies, he found a golden thread. The golden thread, what was it? It was believing that we are one with the divine. And then knowing that we can create in our lives the way the divine created all of this. So we can do in our life what the divine does as a whole. And so he says in the Living the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, he says, we believe that the kingdom of heaven is within humans. I'm going to cough, hold on. We believe that the kingdom of heaven is within humans and that we experience this kingdom, get this, to the degree that we become conscious of it. What? So the kingdom of heaven is not out there. I don't have to run hard and get it. I don't have to do, 50 rosaries. It's the kingdom of heaven is right here where I am. And it's only as available to me as I become conscious of it. I move my thinking in alignment with the divine, and I experience more divine. I grow my taproot deeper to find that pure source that's already there, and then I experience it deeper. Here's a quote that I found. Let's see if I can turn it on my screen. All right, there we go. Your treasure, your perfection is within you already. But to claim it, you must leave the busy commotion of the mind and enter into the silence of the heart. Now, that was from Eat, Pray, Love, if you've read that book. It's just, your perfection is there already. It's already there. Mine is already here within me. But I can't just jump out of bed and let the ego of the day drive me. It's a superficial fuel, and it'll burn out. I must leave that busy commotion. I must go into the silence. And then there I find who I really am. It's cracking open the external shell that we've all, I've crafted a shell. Haven't you? Haven't you crafted a really good looking shell, an ego culmination of all the things that you want? I know I have. I've said, hey, okay, I want this life. I want to drive that kind of car. I want to have this kind of business. And I want to, I want to show the world that I'm successful. Now, who is that for? One has to think, who is that for? Now, I'm not saying everybody quit your wonderful job, let go of your beautiful car, and go live in a hut. I'm not saying that. Please have nice things. But who is it for? And when I came about, listen, you guys have been with me the last year. You know I've had some trouble at that last contract that I was working on. It started, it was fine. And then it started having rumblings. Things started cracking. I came into these rooms, I give these talks every week, and I start to share about someone that's starting to bother me. And I can't just positive thinking my way through it. It started to get to me. And so I started making moves. I started realizing, maybe that's the next thing. Life will show you, as it shows me, these little golden breadcrumbs. I call them golden breadcrumbs because it's not quite like a yellow brick road. It's not laid so everybody can see it. They're little glimpses of, maybe I should do that. And now I want to say that if you're very, very comfortable and life is going great, you may not even notice the golden breadcrumbs. Usually, and I know for me, a crisis, that cracking open, that really feeling really yucky, just kind of like, Do you remember Charlie Brown cartoons? And there's one character that just had a squiggle above his head. It's like not quite a gray cloud, but just sometimes you feel like that. You're just like, And for me, I noticed I was feeling that way. I didn't like it. And I started also noticing that people were giving me signs and signals. And I don't want to go too far deep into it, but let me just take you down the breadcrumb trail. I was unhappy at that position. I started doing what I could do within my realm to fix it. That didn't work. And people who normally work well with me were pushing back. And I was like, But then someone else said, maybe you should get your own government contract vehicle. I said, maybe I should. I now have like a battery on my back that makes me want to do that because now I'm mad. And now I'm doing it. A lot of times I'll do stuff because somebody made me mad. So I start doing all the work. And it was a lot of work. And I was going. And it was because I wanted something, because this wasn't making me happy. I wanted something else. And so pain pushes until the vision pulls. The pain pushed me away. And then the vision of having my own company, well, I do have my own company, but growing it bigger, that started pulling me. Now that vision started pulling me to the point where I look back, now I'm at a point where last year I'm like, whoa, look at that. Last year I thought that I was going to improve myself improve my company a little bit, but the trajectory that discomfort put me on gives me the ability to not only grow for just me, but I'm talking about growing and improving the lives of many, many, many other people. It's amazing. Like, so now the losing or the leaving behind of that position freed my time up. And now there's talks. I'm in talks about going to different HBCU, historically Black colleges and universities, and delivering training in this area that's emerging. It's called cloud technology, but I'm not trying to teach you IT today. But just know that little Black girls and little Black boys are going to see my Black face and my sons, and we're about to blow this up in a good way. Like this, and big companies are like, yeah, let's go. And I'm like, let's go. And I look back and I'm like, yikes. If that one little person that I worked with hadn't made me mad, hadn't cracked open my little comfort life that I had, it was shiny and shellacky. It was great, but it wasn't what I was meant to be doing. Someone else can do the if-then statements and do the do-while loops and make sure the server's up. And FAA, what's up with your servers, man? That's another story. We'll talk later. But just the idea here, I'm just trying to get it to you. Your life is here for a purpose. There's something you're meant to do. And when those little things come in, they're not comfortable, please listen to them. Go into those moments of discomfort and reach down. Let that taproot grow deeper. Find out what's trying to emerge here. Sit in the discomfort. Y'all watched me sit in the discomfort. I don't like it. That's why they call it discomfort. But we get through it. I found little golden breadcrumbs about this next thing going to the HBCUs. I feel like that's just one of the many. There will be many more golden breadcrumbs, and I'm here for it. I'm following the little trail that the universe has in store for me. And this particular collection of skills, you have one too. What is your particular collection of skills? It's not repeated. The universe doesn't really make copies of anything. You're individual. You've got a particular set of gifts, skills, talents. You're here to bless other people with them, not just for yourself. You could still have your beautiful things, have your nice house, your great job, and be a blessing every moment that you do your work. Now that's living the life of your dreams. So for this, I will complete this with saying, there's so many quotes I want to give you, but I don't have all day. How about this one? I'll leave you with this final quote. Nothing splendid has ever been achieved except by those who dared to believe that something inside them was superior to their circumstances. So that's from Bruce Barton and the 7 Lost Secrets of Success. So really believe in ourselves, because then we will have something splendid to do in the world. There is that which is within us that is greater than that which is in our circumstances. I want to remind you that the season of nonviolence starts on January 30th. And it goes to, let me see. Season of nonviolence goes from January 30th to April 4th. Now, the reason why it goes from January 30th to April 4th is because Gandhi was assassinated. You know, the two, Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi, two people who were about nonviolence. Their ideas helped people stop believing so much in all their little adages and start to live from love. Changing the minds of society. It's not easy. These two did it. And they're still, their teachings to this day are still working. So 64 calendar days, from the assassination of Gandhi on January 30th to the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. on April 4th. That's the span of time that the global community of new thought, or global community of anybody conscious and working for something better, we focus on how to do that non-violently. How do we change the thinking of our society? How do we raise the consciousness so we can stop repeating things that don't serve us? Stop believing fake laws like girls can't do math, and start doing and behaving from love. How do we do that? The season of nonviolence. And so as you come back, we'll talk about different things we can do as a community to focus more on love, upliftment, and nonviolence. I want to talk to you guys forever, but I am out of time. Let me look and see if there are any prayer requests. And remember, online on our website, you can always submit a prayer request through a little form that we have. So if you go to cslleesburg.org and fill in a prayer request form, we'll hold you in prayer. So this prayer is Ernest Holmes' 5 steps. He came up with this way to get our minds ready to receive more of what our goodness is. So the 5 steps, the first step is to be aware that there's only God. The universe is one. It's not dual. It's only one being, and that life is our life. And then from that awareness that we're one with the divine, and knowing, like I was saying earlier, we have access to all that God is, we speak from that point of awareness, and then we release and let it go. This affirmative prayer is just praying, knowing that we already have received it. So let's go within. There's only one life and one power. That power is the divine essence. This divine essence created all that is, yet is not absorbed by its creation. The Creator is infinite possibility, always unfolding in every moment. It is not bound by what came before. All things can be made new in each moment because the universe is infinite. Every possibility exists right here, right now. We cannot be separate from the Creator. The Creator is within its creation. This divine intelligence is our life. Each and every one of us are the hands, the arms, the eyes, the face of the divine. We are each individual expressions of this divine energy. And so I speak my word as one, from the one, that anywhere where there is a sense of dis-ease, whether that be a medical condition that seems less than whole, whether that be families who've lost loved ones too soon, especially there in Loudoun County, suffering through the loss of a teen, or anywhere where there's something that appears to be not fully divine, I speak my word that the divine is unfolding even through that situation, that there's no place that God is not. And so God is right there. I speak my word that anything that does not really vibrate at the highest level transforms itself the way darkness flees when the light switch is turned on. I speak my word that even now, situations that seem to be not great are currently metamorphizing. They're changing us in ways that we could never have known. Truly, they're setting us on a path for greater awareness, and these experiences are always used for our highest good. Yes, the arc of justice always bends upward. And so even now, good is unfolding. I give thanks for this awareness. I am so grateful to be able to speak these words into the law, knowing that the law always says yes. I release my word, I let it go, I let it be. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. And now it's time for some Leah.
Are you listening to the water dry? Are you listening to the lizards fly? Are you listening? What do you hear? What do you hear? I hear days come and going. I hear babies growing. I hear clouds as they silently float by. I hear time as it's slowing, and one thing I know is I hear life. I hear life. Are you listening to the new day song, or a voice that tells you that everything is wrong? Are you listening? What do you hear? Are you listening to the love within, to the well where every good thing begins? Are you listening? What do you hear? What do you hear? I hear ideas sprouting, a child within me shouting, here's a new thing. You ought to give it a try. I hear vision becoming. I know that nothing is wanted. I hear life. I hear life. I hear life. I hear life.
Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you. Thank you so much, Charlene. And we love our music by Leah. You gave us a lot of good quotes there, Charlene. There's one that really resonated with me. I'll talk about that later. So now is the time to bless the donations that are shared with our center. At CSL Leesburg, we believe in the law of circulation, like you heard in our opening video. We are a tithing community. The donations that are shared with our center bless everyone, those who give and those who receive. Your donation helps our center, but also our home organization, as well as organizations that support our vision for helping to create a world that works for everyone. Please look at the screen. There's so many ways you can give. It's easy to find a way that just works for you. You can also go to our website and click on that donate button. We thank you so much for your support. We can't do what we do without your support. So now, no matter how you are giving, just take that. It might be physical. It might be just mentally, because you know you got it covered. Just place that over your heart and join me in the blessing of our gifts. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tend to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. Those are such powerful words. All right, folks, now it's time for announcements. On Tuesday mornings, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, come back to our website and join Charlene and their friends as they explore their dreams. Guys, I'm seeing a lot of talk out there, a lot of chatter of people recognizing that our dreams are filled with messages while we're sleeping. Our subconscious is just receiving all these messages. And sometimes you can't see it because you're too up close, but Charlene and her friends help you. You tell them your dreams and they help you to interpret them. If you're able, join Charlene and friends on Tuesday for the dream study. And now it is time for our closing affirmation. As you heard Charlene in the beginning, if you're able, please stay. We do something that we call pearls, those little moments of our service or from the meditation or from the music that really just resonated with you. And we share these. It's kind of our coffee clutch hour. And we just interact and appreciate each other, celebrate our community. If you can stay, please stay. We would love to hang out with you a little bit longer. If you have to run, then just know that we send you off with our blessings. But first, we're going to do our closing affirmation. So put your hand over your heart once again. Just give yourself a lot of love and join me in saying, I am love.
I am love.
Yeah, I love to hear you. And now point to somebody who's in the room with you, perhaps. I got my dog Silas right down here by my side. Maybe you have a furry friend, maybe somebody with you. And if not, if you're all alone, just point at the screen and look at that person or creature and say, "You are love.
You are love.
You are love." And give love to Silas. He always joins us. I don't know what kind of the other dog is. Now, I need you to put your hands up in the air. It's all love. Join and say it with me.
Oh, love.
Oh, we thank you so much for joining us today. Like I said, if you can, please stay, hang out with us. If you have to run, just know that we send you off with our love and blessings. And that's today. We're done.